Here we are then, back again, another day in the office, and we're back for round 3 of the Aston Martin Road to Glory Season 2, as we're in Australia, down under, looking to bounce back after the last race in Jeddah, which really didn't go according to plan. Link at the top right, go check it out. Spoilers ahead, although I've kind of given you a small one. Also, the big red thing on screen is also a bit of a giveaway, but anyway, let's get into this one and let's get the episode underway. So, the first things first is addressing the obvious, and that is the engine failure we had in the last race. We got no extra R&D points. It was the MGUH that let go on our car, so we're going to go ahead and take a new one for this weekend's race. That means no penalty. Luckily, it's one of the components that has 3 available, so we're still okay. And yeah, we're going to try and obviously push back and get, back to it this weekend and have a decent result. Either way, no rain forecast, which is good. If we look in more detail, we've actually taken a huge step forward this weekend, and that is because we've had 2 major upgrades arrive this weekend for the chassis and the engine. We rushed the chassis one and it arrived, and we also have another one on the way just after this race for the aero, which is for the rear downforce and the diffuser. So big things are happening, and we're taking strides to really try to improve the car, get to the front and make a real push. With that said, first of all, practice, got through it, no dramas, and the car working reasonably well. I had some issues with car stability around here, just couldn't really feel fully comfortable pushing the car to the limit. We had a little bit higher tyre wear than usual, which we'll fix, of course, as always, with tyre pressures. And yeah, as for practice, Lance actually bucked up a little bit and scored a few extra points, which was quite nice. And yeah, we're going to bring our total near enough to 2,000, also level up to 11 on the driver acclaim, as we now jump into qualifying. Now things are getting serious. So we take the sandbags off, we're going to see what the true pace really is, and hopefully we can see an improvement on the car, because those 2 upgrades should give us a bit more of an edge. So first time lap here in qualifying, making our way through the far chicane, and we essentially have sector 3 left. This revamped sector 3, of course, with this extended brake zone into this hard right-hander. Then we go into the final couple of corners where the grip is really hard to find through here, especially for me with this car. The big issue with this Aston Martin for the last season and a bit is rear downforce, rear traction. I just can't get any confidence with the back end of the car. Up to the line though, our first lap gives us P18, as Sainz hasn't set a proper lap yet, and Sonoda wasn't particularly fast. So we're technically last if you look at it realistically, compared to other cars around us. However, we're not a million miles away, so if we can find 3-4 tenths, we're looking pretty decent here. So let's go back to it, and we're going to get ready for our final attempt in qualifying as we look to close things out and hopefully, maybe, just maybe, move to Q2. So, across the line, making our way down to turn number 1. Brake just before the 50, down to 5th gear, quickly up to 6th as we open the DRS through turn 2. Pretty good drive out of there as we now make our way into turn 3, brake at the 100, down to 3rd, possibly 4th. Important here to short shift and be very smooth on power input as we make our way through here. Now through turn number 5, we're going to take a small confidence lift as I wasn't fully committed there. And now into turn 6, tipping the car in. Bit of a moment there which was a costly error, and just got a bit too eager on the power, lost the back end, and we threw away a solid 10th of our advantage, possibly a little bit more, as we close out sector 2. In the top left, though, we can see we're up by 2/10 on Latifi. However, we invalidate by cutting the chicane just a bit too much. But that is the line I want to take through there, because that first bit, which we cut, found us a lot of time, and we was actually 2 and a bit tenths up. So we know it's about 1/10.5 in that chicane alone. So, luckily, I had enough time, fuel, battery to get things charged back up and go again, albeit on slightly more used tyres. So we basically use the rest of the last lap to cool things down and go again, basically. And to be fair, it's actually going well. The car is working. The fact that we have some slightly higher temperatures and some slightly scrubbed tyres is giving me more grip in sector 1, and we're up by even more than last time, as we're 2 and a bit tenths up in the first split. This time we keep it clean through the left-right of 6, and we're 2.5 tenths up as we look to close out sector 2. So this is looking very, very good. We know there's about a 10th and a bit through the chicane if we can hook it up. So do we invalidate this time? No, we don't. We keep it nice and tidy through the second apex. We lose the back end.
That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're okay.
And that is kind of the struggles I've been having all weekend. I just can't quite push to the limit, and when I do, the track bites, the car struggles, and I just don't have the confidence underneath me. I don't know what it is with this track in this game. You know, I love Australia, I love this version of Australia, and I actually still enjoy this track driving on the game, but for some reason, there's just something about this track which, even with a better car, there's a real kind of on the edge feeling when driving this circuit, which makes it really, really tough to get a good lap in. Either way, it didn't mean much in the end, regardless. I didn't quite have the pace to get through. Probably only could have got Seb, you know, on a perfect lap. So, yeah, I'm not mad about it. And we're not a million miles off the car's head, to be fair. I think we're in the mix, but clearly not as much pace as Jeddah, and that mistake didn't help. Either way, qualifying done. Let's turn it around the race, and let's see if we can try and pull something out the bag.
You can hear the Australian fans roaring as they line the track here at Albert Park. Welcome to Melbourne, and the roar from the crowd could only mean one thing. It's race day. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Perez, Lando Norris and Russell, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Ocon and Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Latifi, Alex Albon and Gasly, Tsunoda, Zhou, Lance Stroll and Valtteri Bottas, Vettel and Martinez. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race.
I'm not going to lie, this could be a bit of a tough one. P20, last place, and we have pretty much everything to do in terms of fighting back through the field. However, I want to try and stay optimistic, even though I don't think we have the same race car as Jeddah. What we do have, the same as Jeddah, is very good straight line speed, which will make us very strong across the 4 big straights and the 3 DRS zones. And hopefully it holds up in the corners. I think we'll naturally always do better in race trim. That's just the way it goes in these crew modes. But let's see. Maybe strategy could play a part. I'm going to start the medium. The hard tyre is not a good tyre to start on because the grip is so poor. And I have been struggling all weekend for just balance and just a bit of confidence with the car setup. Fuel-wise, I'm going for 0.5 extra. And also my tyre pressures are actually a bit higher than usual. I'm going for 3 on the front and 5 on the rear, which is a touch higher. Hopefully it doesn't backfire. And that was accidental bars there as we are going to get ready for the action. So, yeah guys, leave a like if you're going to enjoy. Prediction down below in the comments as always. I'm keen to hear your thoughts. And yeah, let's get to it. Here we go. Let's get into it. Hopefully, a nice, productive first lap. Oh man, that second phase was annoying. I tried to wait as long as I could before putting the power down all the way as we go around the outside of Sebastian. Zhou off a little bit slow out of turn 2. We'll try and stick it around the outside, but we're going to have to get on the brakes super early here. And actually Seb goes up the inside of the pair of us, and I actually am not going to go on the inside there. That's a fair move there from Seb, nice and aggressive, and it pays off. We'll try to get Zhou. Oh, we get squeezed out there. Well, the AI being fair, but also hard in terms of their racing on this opening lap, so no progress done. And Sebastian actually moving up a handful of places. Right, let's see. You can see the straight line speed there is doing a pretty decent job. We'll see if we have decent pace, especially after lap 3. That's when we'll really know what the pace is looking like, as the AI currently are in full power mode, as they always are on this opening couple of laps. Trying to get the cut back on Zhou. We may have a look into the next corner, although the understeer I got through there was just horrible. So forget about that, the front end just did not work. Well, that's a disappointing first lap, but I tried. Just didn't really get lucky there with the selection of the lines at certain points. But we'll try and chip away. It's a long race. Try to make things happen. Right, let's see now if we get some action. The DRS train is mostly still intact, although just a bit more towards the back here you can see the Alfa Romeo. 4 cars ahead is starting to just fall off a little bit, so we'll see if that has an effect on things. I will admit, right now, I'm struggling. I don't really have an answer or a pace up my sleeve. I'm very much just driving flat out. You can visibly see a couple of breakaways, so P1 and also us 5 cars at the back are falling off. But other than that, there is literally nothing going on right now. And yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can maybe find some pace up from somewhere, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Zhou just out of shape there, but I just don't have enough of a pace differential to really get close. I really struggle on traction, it seems like, compared to the AI. I mean, I just have no back end. I lose so much through there, especially the final corner. That really hurts me. I don't really see a glaring weakness besides an AI mistake, really. There's not one corner where I think to myself, oh yeah, we're fast. My issue here is just traction. I've got no back end. And it's weird because the upgrades should, be making a difference, but I'm not really noticing it, although the rear downforce one is the one that's underway after this race. I wonder if we might just have a chance here. Gonna have to use all the batteries to get any chance of this. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Can I get close enough? No, I can't, but I can get it down the brakes. Alright, that's one anyway. It's going to take some real work and progress to get these cars overtaken, but that's one down anyway. A few more breakups in the DRS train up ahead. We'll just try and get past these one by one.
Lance is in the pits.
Okay, so there's Lance in, along with the rest of soft tyre starters. So that moves up a few places. Still nowhere near the points. I don't know what just happened, but I just caught my car going into lean mix, and it dropped me out of the DRS range on that straight. Luckily we were still caught up anyway, but maybe some engine issues. That was weird. Oh, that was close. I was maybe trying to get a run on Seb there, but never mind. Just so frustrating. I've got no traction, man. Just literally makes it impossible for me to get any kind of a run out of any traction zone with a straight on it. Just so annoying. Okay, this might be a chance. I'll try and get nice and close here and get him out of the chicane. I'm literally drifting through there, but good enough. We can probably challenge from here.
I've got information on Stroll.
Well, that's going to be car issues then for Lance. Oh, what the hell is this? You've got to be joking. The turbocharger's gone. What is happening? I can't believe it. 2 in a row. 2 out of 3 races.
A great race then, and a fantastic victory here at Albert Park. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they've secured here.
I say I'm annoyed, but then I think about it. I don't think we had any chance of getting points. I was really struggling to, you know, be really competitive at all. You know, it's weird. You can tell, and this is why I don't like F1 games. It's because the minute X amount of upgrades happen, the AI start to become really stupidly fast in, you know, certain areas, and we can't match them. It's kind of why I fell out of love with my team at points, you know, in the past couple of years. So I really hope that gets changed for the new game, and you know, the AI are worked upon with upgrades in mind. Either way, Verstappen wins, and wins comfortably ahead of Leclerc and Russell. Norris P4, and it was a run to the line actually, looking at the gaps between him and George. Sainz P5 ahead of Hamilton. Home hero Ricciardo P7 ahead of Ocon, Magnussen and Albon, so Haas and Williams in the points this weekend. Latifi misses out along with Schumacher, Vettel, Gasly, Bottas, Stroll, Zhou, Tsunoda, and then Perez also DNFing with the fastest lap, and we finish in P20 and last place. So, standings as we're 3 rounds in, we're still towards the very bottom, no points in our name, and we're also rock bottom in the Constructors. Now, with that said, we have that major rear downforce upgrade arriving, I believe, after this, and I'm praying it arrives because that might just help us out. Anyway, let's go back to the menu, and again, let's try and extend the episode to give you guys no idea that this has been another DNF. So I guess we'll do the same thing as the last episode, and we'll just extend this out and do some updates. So the next race is China in 3 days' time. Confirmation, we did have an issue with a part of the engine, as you can see, got a few extra R&D points, so 160 for the mechanical failure and 160 for the engine issue. Seems like that was caused by an issue with the chassis, so interesting. I noticed the car was going lean there for a second, so I'm not sure what that was entirely. Either way, finally, we're making progress. The diffuser upgrade has arrived. This could start to really change things for us. So, I'm currently locked out with, you know, no more rear downforce upgrades, facility spec 3. I'm leaning towards putting in some work on the chassis front, as I feel like we're still lacking in this area for some reason. We've done a bunch of weight reduction, it's time for some weight redistribution, and we're going to go for a major one which has got a discount, so we'll throw that on straight away. And I can't quite afford the hydraulics, we'll maybe come back to that one. Can we afford anything else on here? Roll dampers discount, I'm not really too bothered about tyre wear. Engine, not really. Do we have anything cheap on the aero we can squeeze on? Not really. All the upgrades are getting quite expensive now, so yeah, that's far from ideal. I'm not going to waste cash on durability because we're probably going to take a penalty at this point after those 2 failures, so I may as well just firm it and basically get a bunch of engines stacked up. Anyway, we'll run it back in China, another race. I'm looking forward to this one because I don't know what to expect in terms of AI. I know my pace is decent. I've done a league race here recently, so I know the car works well. But yeah, that aside, we've got 1,000 points cushion to already build upon, so we should have a decent amount of points after the race weekend ends. Also, right now you can see we're looking pretty decent in terms of facility specs. We're level 2 mostly all round, and yeah, I think we're making slow progress, but definite progress. If that chassis upgrade arrives, that will move us above Haas. And then there's a bit of a gap in the midfield to Alpine, so we've got a bit of a space to fill. But I feel like if we can get to the top of this kind of lower half of the midfield, that's good progress. And then we'll have to try and work to get further forward. But it's going to be a grind, and we've lost the turbocharger, so again, not terrible news. We've got 2 more of them, so we could still make it work, but at this point we're probably looking at a penalty at some point down the road. So yeah guys, leave a like and subscribe for more if you enjoyed. I can't believe this has happened 2 in a row, but that's what happens in these series sometimes, and you just got to deal with it. So yeah guys, cheers for watching. As always, a big shout out and plug for the members. Check out the 2 videos on the screen if you haven't seen them already, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Until then, take care, and that's goodbye from me.